everybody, welcome back to Devils United. We're back again with another preview as Manchester United travel to Seville. Oh, it's going to be an interesting one. And we've got a good friend of mine, Football Power Hour. How are you doing?
I am personally, I'm doing good, but because of everything else that's happening to our rivals and everything this week. But when we're previewing this game, I'm not feeling as good as I'm feeling right now about this game.
No, it
Yeah.
is going to be a nervous one. But, right, I'm going to ask you a question what's been asked on social media before we go into the comments.
Yeah.
If you had to pick one, would you rather lose against Seville or Brighton? If you had to guarantee lose one.
Oh no! If I had to guarantee what?
If you had to guarantee a loss, if that means that guaranteed loss will guarantee a win.
Maisy, why do I have to guarantee a loss, first of all? Okay, all right. Here's the thing. I think oh no, that's tough. I think I'd rather lose. Oh no. I can't even say it. I can't say it, Maisie. How are you gonna ask me the toughest question?
I've made my decision.
What is it? Help me. Is it Brighton? Lose against Brighton?
I'd rather lose against Brighton.
We've already secured. Okay. Why? Why?
The thing is, we haven't secured top four as of yet. We could still easily drop out. If we went and lost a few games, and then Spurs, being the most inconsistent team ever, goes on an unbeaten run till the end of the season, that could potentially knock us out. And the same with Newcastle. If they win all their games till the end of the season, that would knock us out. So we need, for me, in my opinion, Premier League's always first. Always, 100% of the day, Premier League title is always first. If I can't get a Premier League title, my second choice is always a European trophy, which the first option, of course, is the Champions League. And then after that, it'd have to be the Europa League because it's still a European Cup. If it was the Conference League, I would go with the FA Cup just because with the FA Cup, it guarantees you the Europa League. But the Europa League win guarantees you the Champions League.
Exactly.
If you wasn't there to get into the top four.
Exactly. So right now, if I flipped it back at you and said a loss in both games and then a guaranteed top four, would you be okay with the season, with that ending?
I'd be disappointed, but I've always said that this season for Erik ten Hag,
Pause. I have to put a twist to it and say not just top four, it's us finishing second because this elephant is gonna capitulate and fall all the way down, and we're gonna end up finishing above second, but we lose both cup games. Go ahead.
I'd take second. I would take second. But the thing is, right, we need to think of as well. This is Erik ten Hag's first season. Has he inherited a good squad? Yes, there is some good players in there, but he's inherited a very unbalanced squad under the same breath. So, and he's still got a terrible ownership. He's having to deal with a lot of things with Cristiano Ronaldo and a few other things off the pitch as well. So, I do think, in my opinion, if we was to finish second but lose the cups, I'd be disappointed. Of course, you would as a fan, but we still won the Carabao Cup, which ends our trophy drought. We finished second place, which is the highest we've finished since 2020-21. So I would have, if you look at it in that overall respect, I wouldn't be disappointed.
No, you're right. Wow.
So excellent. I would take the Europa League over the FA Cup.
Yeah, me too. I think more weight goes to the Europa League. But even though the FA Cup is respectable in the fact that I like that it's a competition that's open for pretty much the whole pyramid, and it's you get there by merit and but at the end of the day, the Europa League Cup is more it looks better too. I
don't mind the FA Cup. The FA Cup is a beautiful cup competition.
Yeah.
And if I was to choose Carabao Cup or FA Cup, it's clear. Because I've always said Premier League, European Cup, FA Cup, Carabao Cup. That was my order.
Yeah, I don't like the ribbons on the Carabao Cup, the energy drink part. Can we just snap that part? If I want it, I'll be like, cut off the little ribbon. Why energy drink cup? Why you gotta put, you know what I mean? Anyway.
I preferred it though when it was like called the Carling Cup, even though it's still a drink.
That is
It was.
nice. That's nice. That's a little bit more respectable. The calling. I feel like I like that. I like that. I like that. But
Mhm.
but then other people call it the EFL Cup,
Yeah,
right?
because it's the English League Cup, isn't it?
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, we love it. It's in the bag. It's in the cabinet. Thank you, Ten Hag. We're hoping to open up the cabinet again. So,
Well,
yeah, with Sevilla. Oh, should we go ahead and talk about Sevilla,
we
or
will
where do you
do
want to go
that.
first?
We will that in just a moment. We'll say hi to people who's about.
Oh,
Uh, yes. Good afternoon, Statman. Thanks for coming in. Hope that you are well. Good afternoon, Endsman. I hope you are well. Thank you for coming in. Hey there, Rather. Hope you are well. Thanks for coming in. Maisy-licious. I've never. That's the first time I've ever been called that. But we've got Mr. Nollywood here as well.
Mr. Nollywood. I love it.
That's your new nickname now.
That's my new nickname. I'll take it.
Hey there, Liam. Thank you for coming in. I hope that you are well. Reese, good afternoon to you. I'm okay, thank you. I hope that you are well too. Ravi and Reese are talking to each other. Ravi, I think United won't slip out of top four. If you do, that's Bottle. Bottle, rather, is called bottling the Carabao Cup for your rivals to win it. Bottle is called being in 8th place. Bottle is called also being knocked out humiliatedly in the Champions League. Bottle as well is having to play an extra game in the FA Cup because you couldn't score past against a very poor Wolves side and still get knocked out in the next round.
Woo, that is bottled. That's the definition of bottled.
That is bold.
Uh-huh.
Good afternoon to you too, Nippon. I hope that you are well. Thank you for coming in. Have you ever been called Daisy? Yeah, I've been called Daisy before. A few people's called it me, but yeah, we'll go on to the Seville game. I know you're so dying to talk about this game.
Yes.
Do you want to
Yes.
talk about it?
Yes. I mean, first of all, from the perspective of Manchester United, and then we'll talk a little bit up from the Sevilla perspective a little bit, because this is the first time we are going to be playing without Bruno Fernandes in a long time. And we're going to have to um account for a period where the team has to gel. We have to build a little chemistry, just the same way how our front forward took a little bit of time to click without, when we're first lining up without Rashford, and it was Martial, Jadon Sancho, Martial, Sancho, Anthony, and it was one of those things where we're having to account for building chemistry while also trying to win. This is pretty much a cup final. Sevilla are going to be giving us everything that they got because they are at home. They have the 12th men, and now they're also playing us when we're more or less weaker than what we were when we first played them. So I'm very, very nervous. I usually bring optimistic, enthusiastic energy, but this time I just have to be real and say I am worried, Macy. Don't you worry about Bruno's absence?
I've always been worried about Bruno absence, and to be honest, like I don't know if you remember, like before we signed Bruno Fernandes, we was very, very poor creatively. We had that poor first half of the season, and like I remember Paul Scholes saying at a post match, like, "Where's the creativeness in the team?" Like, you seen it last season, but this team has like won trophies. Like, literally, where is it? And I feel like for me, Bruno Fernandes offers that, and because the team in itself has been so over reliant on Bruno Fernandes in terms of bringing the ball forward, in terms of the assists and
Yeah,
the narrow
champion.
through, it's kind of like he's become that undroppable player. And for me, Bruno Fernandes is an outstanding player. I know there's things people don't like about Bruno Fernandes. It annoys me. But you need to look at his overall game and say he's a world-class midfielder.
He is really world class, and I think I want to touch on a statistics that's probably been making the rounds. That that you might have seen about Bruno having. There's only one player that is in Europe that has had more assists than Bruno Fernandes ever since he
Messi.
signed for Manchester United. And yeah, you know what I mean. Of course, that statistics is it's a little bit like you can't always quantify things that way, saying well ever since this person signed, you know what I mean. But also it is something to not turn a blind eye to and say, no, you're bending statistics in a way that suits the player. This is kind of there's a big chance creator. He is amazing and he's the heartbeat of our attack. And anytime when the team is looking for solutions on how to get the ball from the back to the front, it's always Bruno. But here's the thing. Having Bruno and Rashford gone makes us a kind of a different team. The way we progress the ball forward, it's been interesting to see how that, just versus Nottingham Forest, we now take a little bit more caution with our ball. It's not always over the dink, trying to catch the team on the break. We actually have balls that come from our center backs straight into the midfield and and straight into our attacking line. And it's kind of refreshing to see that a little bit. It's obviously thanks to the thanks to the presence of Anthony Martial up front and managing to make the ball stick, so he's going to be a very crucial factor in in how the attacking heartbeat feels, versus Sevilla. So yeah.
It's what you've mentioned about Bruno. With Bruno, he's created the most chances in Europe's top 5 leagues this season with 88, the most Premier League man of the matches since his Manchester United debut. We don't need the Premier League's nomination to know Bruno Fernandes is up there with the very best. And that's crazy. He actually did not get shortlisted in the midfields for players of the season. And you've got players in there like Holzberg and Bentaker and all. I mean, what are you watching?
That's exactly how I feel about them. That whoever is making that list is out of touch with reality.
I'm actually gonna bring it up. I know, obviously it's going to go off a little bit off topic, but I just looked at that and I thought, this is, I've never seen so much crap in my life. And here again, Bruno Fernandes, since he's come to the Premier League, he's had 60 goals, 50 assists. Yeah, and that's an attacking midfielder.
For real. He's
let's have a see. So here you go. Here's the nominations for the Premier League Player of the Season. So we've got goalkeeper Nick Pope, Aaron Ramsdale, Alisson, Leno, and Kepa. Right, I'm just going to start this off. Why the hell is Kepa there? What's Kepa done? He's in 11th. The guy is in 11th. Losing against games with Southampton. He's literally losing, conceding against relegation teams.
Have they seen the Golden Glove?
Exactly. David De Gea should be well clear of Kepa. I don't know if they're going off goalkeepers, if it's going off distribution or whatever, but I understand the other ones to be in there because I think Alisson has carried Liverpool.
Leno, you can challenge Bernard Leno a little bit, but
I look at it though with Leno. I think he's done well in the Fulham side.
I mean, hey, if he's done well, that's great. But has he done it more than De Gea though?
He hasn't been as influential, but I still think he's been fantastic. And I would actually have put him in. I would have took Kepa out. Defenders. Let's look at defenders. We've got Gabriel, Saliba, Trippier, Botman, Zinchenko, Thiago Silva, Lisandro Martinez, Ben Mee, Luke Shaw, Christian Romero, Ruben Diaz. Christian Romero, who's had 2 red cards already in the Premier League.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Even Ruben Diaz, though, he hasn't started nowhere near as much. Like, Nathan Ake has been keeping him out of the squad until they played in the back four. I mean, the back
Joke.
three, sorry. Because it's
Joke.
mostly been Laporte, and it's been
Yeah.
Laporte and Ake. So I don't
Yeah.
understand why Ruben Diaz is there. And you've got, as well, who have we got in? I agree, Thiago Silva. He's a fantastic player, Thiago
He's
Silva.
class. He's class. But also, he hasn't been as available this season.
Yeah.
Like last season, he was there and doing well, because he was available. But like this season, he's also been, injury prone. So it's one of those things. It's like, are they rating the defender up about that capability, or is it about that performances and availability? I
I
don't know. I don't know.
I understand, like, there's some players who hasn't played like every single game, but they put on maybe 10 out of 10 performances. But Ruben Diaz hasn't put 10 out of 10 performances on when he has played. If I look at Ruben Diaz's stats for, like, in terms of how he's played this season, I'm literally getting it up on my phone on that Premier League app. We'll look at Ruben Diaz. How many games has there been in the Premier League so far this season?
Ruben Diaz.
There's been 31 games this season,
Yeah.
right? And he's played 20, so he's missed 10 games.
Wow.
He's had only out of 20 games. He's had 6 clean sheets. That's poor from a goalkeeping point of view.
Exactly. Yeah.
Conceded 14 goals. That's more than more than goals every 2 games. But he hasn't had any errors leading to goals. But the stats for me, if they're looking at stats, the stats doesn't warrant him being in there.
Nah. The other person to challenge in the midfield is I mean, I know Bruno Guimaraes is great when he's playing, for Newcastle, but fine, Odegaard, De Bruyne, Casemiro, Rodri, obviously those Paulinho has been great. Madison.
Can we just talk about Paulinho? I'm only joking, by the way. Like,
that's your crush, huh?
he is my crush, but I literally they when they say you stand a player, because you really like him. Like, I literally do stand on Paulinho. But in terms of midfielders, we've got Odegaard, De Bruyne, Casemiro, Rodri, Bruno Guimaraes, Alexis McAllister, Paulinho, James Maddison, Solly March, Mitamoma, Bentaker, and Holzberg. Maybe Jacob would tell me. I don't know. Is he injured now?
Who?
Bentaker. Isn't he injured for the rest of the season?
I think so. I haven't seen him in a long time. I think he's injured.
I thought he was injured because I was thinking to myself, I hadn't seen him play. I think he has played well, but he has played, but he needs to have a good running in games. I'm literally just looking now at how many games he's played in the league. Bloody hell, I'm bad at spelling. He's played 18 games, so he's played less games than Ruben Diaz.
Look at that. Joke.
Yeah. He's been out for a long time.
Yeah. It's a long-term injury for sure. Yeah.
It hyper extended his knee and he's out till 2024.
Yeah.
And I agree. James Maddison, another one, doesn't deserve to be there.
It's like he's good. He's had a few moments, good highlights this season, but he does not deserve to be there.
Jack is trolling here. Come on, Jack is trolling.
They should have put Milner and Jordan Henderson. That's a joke. That's a really, really, really joke. What about the attackers? What do you think about the attackers? Let's see.
I agree with what Jacob said here though about Bentancur. He's one of the main catalysts all season. So glad he's getting the praise, but been out since January-ish. I agree. I think he's been a great player, but he couldn't be there. I don't think he should be there based off the length of time he has been out. Yeah, the attackers now. Erling Haaland, Bukayo Saka, Harry Kane, Martinelli, Jack Grealish, Marcus Rashford, Mohamed Salah, Miguel Almiron, Ollie Watkins, Kai Havertz.
Kai who? No.
Riyad Mahrez and Darwin Mayonnaise.
Darwin noodles mayonnaise? No way. Kai Havertz, I challenge that. Ollie Watkins has got a good record right now. He's sort of one of those players that's like, behind in terms of goals per game, behind Rashford in output, and he's doing good. Almiron has been a standout player for Newcastle, especially at the beginning of the season. But everybody, Kai Havertz, I don't think Kai Havertz deserves to be in there. Nah, that's it.
I need to be saying it. He doesn't deserve it.
Get Kai Havertz out of here.
That is a bloody joke.
Do you know though? I don't think as well Almiron deserves to be there. Yeah, he was great until October, and then he just went dry. The guy went dry once he won his play of the season month.
If we're going with these standards, then Dallo should be in there, because Dallo was excellent all the way till we went to the World Cup, So it's like there was no fullback that was really on Dallo's level, no right back on Dallo's level, when right up until the World Cup, and that's why he was able to bench Cancelo like that. So we can. I really, really abhor this list. It's a little bit comical. It's a little bit comical. Mm-hmm. So
yeah. It is, and I do. Jacob said before it sounded like as well that they're just doing it based off popularity.
Yeah, it's a popularity contest. It's who's got the most followers.
I'm getting trolled here off Darwin Núñez in the chat. I call him Darwin Mayonnaise. Ravi sees it where he'll miss a chance and you go say, Darwin Mayonnaise.
Reese says Grealish and Martinelli should not be on that list, as well as
I agree with Havertz and Grealish shouldn't be on, but I think Martinelli should be, because I think Martinelli has been superb in the attack. He's played mostly on the left. He's moved over into the middle at time to time to benefit the team. And I think he scored crucial goals for Arsenal. I think him and Saka are two of the main reasons why they are where they are. Like the team is where they are. So I do think Martinelli should be there. What's your thoughts?
No, Martinelli definitely, but as for Grealish, Grealish, we've seen the best of Grealish now at Manchester City this season, so definitely. But Kai Havertz, it's just a joke. It's just a joke. I don't know what they're watching, because Kai Havertz has not been dazzling at all,
Oh, let's say hi to some new people who's in the chat. Good afternoon to my queen. I hope you are well. Thanks for coming in. She's trolling. She's calling me Daisy.
But he put the heart there, so just thank you. Thank you, Nick.
Hey there, Jack. Thanks for coming in. Hope that you are well. Good afternoon, Jacob from United Spurs of America. Thank you for coming in. I hope that you are well. I'll go into the questions a little bit later on as well in the chat. Good afternoon, Static. Thank you for coming in. Hope that you are well. Good afternoon, Sean. I hope you're well. Thank you for coming in. And good afternoon, Del Boy. Thank you for coming in. I hope that you are well. Can you say in the evening? Because I always do the streams in the evening. But one thing that we have positive-wise coming from the Seville game, well, I don't know if it's a positive anymore. Hopefully, it'd be a positive. I would like to say is Sabitzer. I would like to say Sabitzer felt like he really found his feet playing in that number 10 role. And I think for Bruno, really, how can I say, he proved critiques wrong that he couldn't play in that box-to-box role because he gives the possession away very easily. But I think probably his last so many games has been his best, and he has played in there as well. And I think Sabitzer has been fantastic in going forward. He's doing, I would say, very tough assists, in my opinion.
Yes.
The 2 fantastic goals he scored. So, by the looks of it didn't look like he had a bad injury from the warm up. So, I'm kind of hoping he is back for the Seville game.
Me too. I always describe Sabitzer as if what's his name? If Ericsson and Fred had a baby, the baby's name would be Sabitzer.
If you had a baby.
So,
who's having a baby?
don't dwell too much on the imagination for that. But just look at the outcome, okay? Take the best attributes from Fred, and the best attributes from Ericsson, and you would have, in the pot, you'd probably have something that's very in the mold of Sabitzer. So I just love the fact that he has an eye for goal. Even the long range shots, which we haven't seen them go in yet for Manchester United, but we've seen him test goalkeepers a lot. And Sabitzer, he will be a very good signing. I just want him to be able to. I hope he's not really injured that much, because I know that there was a precaution to take him off 20 minutes before the game started, but it's one of those things. I want him to prove that he can stay injury free for the rest of the season, because a player that gets injured during warm-up, for me, if this spells of somebody like Martial, you know what I mean?
You've had to highlight coffee thinking.
When's the baby shower?
But yeah, I agree with what you're saying about Sabitzer. I think the thing is, though, even though he did get injured, I think it had to take a very good experienced player in Christian Eriksen to.
Which this guys, yeah.
You know what? Considering he only warmed up for 10 minutes, this guy put a world-class performance on. He was like, "Come on, my guy."
And I'm so happy that to be able to display that much match sharpness. He pretty much picked up from where he left off. Usually with players, you'd be like, oh no, there's match fit, but there's match sharpness, and they need to build our way towards match sharpness and the match rhythm, And Ericsson was just like, oh, you remember that bad tackle that was it Andy Carroll? Whoever that player was, that injured Ericsson, he was in form when he got injured, and he just pretty much picked up from that moment, and that's just beautiful to see. And that's also the hallmarks of a professional. It means he's been sort of really, really waiting for this moment while he was in the injury period. He was still staying mentally in the game and tuned in. So shout out to Ericsson for that. He deserves all the flowers and accolades.
Love that. But despite the 2 own goals, negatives would be we've lost our 2 centre-backs now. Our 2 men's centre-backs. One till next season, and one I'm kind of hoping that, well, of course, I am hoping that it's not as serious as people think of Varane's. Do you like how Varane picks his little knuckles now and again? Kind of hoping it's one of them and he's back in a few weeks.
Exactly. No, it's one of those things where I'm starting to wonder if we really should be prioritizing the center back area for the summer, because I know we were, the striker area is one of the major areas of concern, but I think we might need to not really look at Varane as a very, very long-term solution. We need to know that he might be unavailable for a third of the season next season, and and are we going to be able to cope with that? And if Maguire seems to be the person, I hope that he leaves, by the way, but Ten Hag seems to give him all the confidence and say all these positive things about him. And to be honest, he did great versus Forest, other than the yellow card, the nervy start at the beginning. we have to give him the props where props is due, and I have to just give him the respect and say he did great, and I hope that he builds off of that performance, because I think that's the center back pairing that we're probably going to go with, right, Maisy? Or do you
Yeah,
think?
I think so in this game that we are going to probably go for Maguire and Lindelof.
Yeah.
But I have no clue who we're going to be playing for for Brighton. Maybe we might go with I can't think, unless of course Mengi comes through,
Yeah.
which I'm not confident about. That means we're going to have to revert to three at the back, and that three at the back, depending on Luke Shaw's back, meaning we're going to have to play Wan-Bissaka, Dalot, and Lindelof in the back.
Wow.
Back three, and that just scares me. It scares me.
That's really, really scary. You see how that Brighton game is really not looking good either.
You see why I said at the start I'd rather concentrate on Seville.
Oh.
If anyone could beat City in the final, it's Brighton.
Yeah.
And Brighton would be really up for that final if they went and got to it.
You know, it feels like we're gonna be just like the wounded animal. If we make it to the final, we'll be a really wounded Manchester United, and I doubt that. Like Jeez, this is like, looking at how this fixtures are stacking up just makes me even more concerned, because as I told you, it was the lack of Bruno, and now the center back crisis that we're experiencing is also something to be scared of. So
absolutely. Hey there, I like coffee. Thanks for coming in. Hope that you are well. Hey there, Twalumba. I hope you are well. Thanks for coming in. Hey there, Jordan. Thanks for coming in. I hope that you are well. Hey there as well to my dad. Thank you for coming in. I hope that you are well. Maze, your boy Dallo, he got you a goal Thursday. Now he's confident at scoring. The guy can stay back at the left back. Yeah. Bloody, the guy went further up the field than Weghorst. Like, to get a goal.
Dallo deserves some flowers also. To say that, like, to see him there, I don't think
I get praising for it, but
so here's the thing, mate. When was the last time you saw Dallo play left back? Ever?
Milan.
And he, so in a United shirt, it's something that I don't think I've seen, and it's one of those things. I was just like, we have to praise multi-positional players, and anytime when you're given a new responsibility, a new set of demands, of course it's like you'd say it's the same thing but flipped the other way around, but like it's not easy like that, so he did good, and to be able to go that far advanced and further than Weghorst, as he said, that's really funny. I have to give him his flowers.
Why, George, who's in the chat, is Maguire? Oh, all right, Maguire. Okay. Oh, let's go into some of the injuries. I've got potential coming back dates for them, so I don't want to bring too much hope, but here it is. We've got Lisiandro, ankle foot injury, potential return 3rd of July 23. We know he's had surgery very, very recently. Donna, the same return, knee injury. We also know he's had surgery. Varane, it's saying that he could potentially be back by the end of the month.
Oh, okay. By the end of April. Okay, that is
That's
really
not
good.
overly concerning. Like,
yeah.
So, we've got Luke Shaw, who could potentially be back for Thursday. It's 50-50 at the moment, 50% chance. Marcus Rashford, the same with Thursday, 25% chance. McTominay is probably going to be the most likely one. He's only got a knock, so he's got a 50% chance of coming back.
We need him to come play centre back
on Sunday.
Yeah.
We've got Malassi, who's got a knee injury. I actually didn't know he had a knee injury, so that's actually cleared that up for me. He could be back for Thursday. Tom Heaton doesn't have a return date. Poor Tom Heaton, man. Sabitzer has got a no return date. But he's got about 25% okay. And we have Phil Jones with a knee injury, no return date. He's just ruled out. Like, we don't even know what's happening with Phil Jones.
He struggled with fitness from the beginning of the season, and he just never got up to speed. And I think Phil Jones, it's time for him to start a podcast. Like he should just. It's a good thing. I think his contract is running out at the end of this season.
Yeah,
right?
it ends in. To be honest, though, people are saying he should go to the championship, and he would be one of the best defenders in the championship.
Yeah, I mean, or MLS, he can come pick up some dollars in the MLS if he wants. I think like he'll be able to get a little bit of a because I think MLS likes that. It's like former Manchester United player, former Premier League winner, right? He was there when we lifted, when he has got a medal probably. So yeah, he's still got something left in his career. One more chapter at least.
Yeah. He don't have a big contract anyway. He's gonna have to take a massive wage reduction. And Garnacho, he's got no return date either. But he's back in his boots. He's back in his boots, so we need to think of it that I think Ericsson was back in his boots for like a few weeks before he came back. So hopefully we may even see him in May.
Hopefully we can see him in May, because we need a little bit of competition for Jadon Sancho and for Anthony as well, because we're relying on them right now and they're just starting to click. But at the same time, we need another solution when that solution is not working. And Ten Hag right now is pretty much just using all the weapons he has, which is what scares me about the Sevilla game.
Absolutely. Hey there as well, Chelsea OG. Thanks for coming in. I hope that you are well. So me and Football Power Hour's done a starting 11, haven't we? Beforehand. Shall we look at the starting 11?
Let's look at our starting 11, our unavailable/injured 11.
Yeah, this is called Injury FC. So this is called Injury FC. We've got Tom Heaton in goal. We're playing a 3-5-2 formation. I hate playing two at the top. It just but yeah.
I mean, we can also play 3-5-1-1 and have Rashford play right behind. Oh no, Garnacho right behind Rashford.
The thing is, though, Garnacho isn't.
He's not a number 10. He's not like a second striker. But like, let's see, how else can you put it? Well, if we're gonna say injured/unavailable 11, Bruno is unavailable for the next game, so he's also a player that's unavailable.
I have more concerns about, though. Why does this starting 11? Well, why does this injured 11 look better than our current starting 11?
Solid at the back, barring Jones, obviously. But Jones.
To be fair, though, Phil Jones put on a masterclass, didn't he, against Middlesbrough? Like,
right? No.
Yeah, and I felt sorry for him when Ralph Rangnick went and decided to go free at the back against Liverpool.
I know. Yeah, Phil Jones did have a good performance. You're right. Reese is laughing at Reese says it's 3-2-3-2. It's a 3-5-2, mate. That's what we're playing.
Yeah, it's a 3-5-2. It's better than this 4-2-3-1 and better than this 4-4-2 kind of thing. This is like
Look at it. Like Shaw and Malacia as the wingbacks is actually really good.
They're a bit too high up the pitch for my liking, though.
Right now they're a bit too high up the pitch, so would have to make sure that Sabitzer stays, and McTominay, if McTominay goes up with Van de Beek, you have a little bit of balance, for to make sure that we don't get caught on the break. But I like that Rashford is our outlet. I think Sabitzer would be able to find Rashford with a over the overhead pass.
You could literally look at both of them and you'd be like, the left hand side is experienced FC, and the right hand side is inexperienced FC.
True that. True.
And I don't mean that to discredit like Garnacho or Malacia, but like they haven't like played too much Premier League to be an experienced player.
Exactly. But it is a really strong lineup. Very, very good defensively. I think it'll be hard to score against the Varane and Martinez and no, that's really strong. Very
strong lineup. Too strong of a lineup, we could like to say. We'll got some questions in the chat. We'll answer some questions before we do wrap up. Let's have a see. We'll start with the one from Rather. Question: where do United approach this game, knowing they have another cup game on Sunday? I think the thing is with Ten Hag has said that each game for him, he wants to win. He's not going to put out a more weakened side just because he'd rather do one competition over another. He will play our best 11 on Thursday, and he will play our best 11 again on Sunday.
That is the Ten Hag way. If you're available and you're part of the best 11, you're playing. And it's such an interesting mentality, because at the end of the day, you want to be able to fight with your best soldiers, but also you have to have a little bit of a management or a little bit of strategy that's not just short term. So Ten Hag seems to kind of find a very good balance, and barring the Rashford injury, it seems like he's been so meticulous with how he's brought Anthony Martial. It's been incremental. It's been very purposeful, and we're starting to see a Martial that we can almost feel like, wow, all right, look at that, 70 minutes, amazing, 80 minutes, amazing, so it's gonna be 90 minutes just before we know it. So hopefully we don't obviously get to play extra time, because that will be the worst thing to happen to Manchester United this season if we have to go to extra time. What were you
the thing is with Seville, though, they are they have such a hard ground. The fans are absolutely incredible, and they are the best team in the Europa League for a reason.
And also the coach that they have is actually Jose Luis Mendilibar. That's his name. He's very, very experienced Spanish coach, and he's actually been around the block in La Liga. I was looking up to see where he had coached before, and it's a long list. He started all the way from Atletico Bilbao youth and worked his way up into the La Liga scene, and went to the likes of Orera, Eibar, Atletico Bilbao, the first team, and then Real Valladolid, Osasuna, Levante, and then went back to Eibar and spent a long, most of his majority of his matches in La Liga, obviously, have been in Eibar, and then went to Alaves, and then now in Sevilla since October, I think. So. No, not since October. He's just been he's been in charge for since March 21st, 2023. So they were kind of facing a new.
That's when Lopetegui. No, was it? Well, that's where Lopetegui used to play, wasn't it?
Yeah, Lopetegui was the manager, and then I feel like there was also what's his name, Jorge Sampaoli. He was.
I liked how you had the accent. It was very nice.
No, I was just butchering their names, really. But so actually Sevilla, when you look at it, Sevilla have had a couple of changes lately, and were facing a new manager bound situation, or or it's rather an occasion for the current players to showcase what they can really do for the new manager, and they're obviously gonna be there and trying to put that best game forward. So that is another reason to be scared about this. It's not just the experience that Jose Luis has as a manager, So
Mhm.
yeah.
Hey there, curlers who's in the chat. I hope that you are well. Thanks for coming in. Everton have plays to win always. We have to go there and show no fear. Funnily enough, I think we will win it. You know what though? West Ham done the same. They went there fearless, and that's how they got through to the semi-finals of the Europa.
Well, here's the thing. I feel like we on paper were better. It's just gonna be a matter of like which team is really up for the occasion the most, and as long as we're not overwhelmed by being in an away ground, we will be able to get a result. We should be able to get a result and build off of the last performance that we had. And the main thing is, even if we score first, Manchester United has to have that ruthlessness about them and kill off the opponent, because that's really the next stage that we need to unlock. And I I'm excited. I'm excited by the fact that like Wan-Bissaka's inverted new role, seeing him in the midfield, and
I like
and
that.
you
Like,
like that, right? Right? It's like we're like a modern team now.
yeah, I'm literally like getting hyped up for it. Like, oh,
So shout out to Wan-Bissaka for turning his season around, and now even looking like a right back that we really need. So anyway, so De Gea also, by the way, we have to give some flowers to De Gea for his very excellent distribution in the last game, and I hope he
Yeah.
can build off of that and manage to find help launch some of the attacks versus Sevilla, because he can be instrumental sometimes. So
Agreed.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Hey there, Luca. Thank you for coming in. I'm well, thank you. I hope that you are well too. We'll go on to the next question. Um, Question from Reese. Do you think Seville might sneak a win on Thursday? I hate to feel it, but you just know. Yeah, I kind of see what he means, though, to be honest, because I do worry about Seville. I think out of all the Spanish clubs we played this season, Seville, like even at Barcelona, I was kind of feeling I was kind of feeling optimistic, probably
Yeah.
because we had a much better squad. But Seville
Mhm.
has got the upper hand here.
The key word about your comment, Reese, is sneak a win in. They are kings of sneak a win in. Like if you even look at the La Liga game that they played on Sunday versus Valencia, right? You'd be like, oh, Valencia. On paper, Sevilla won it by 2-0. But that's not the story of the match. It was very balanced, 3 shots on target from both teams, and the two questionable decisions where there were moments where Valencia could have easily won a penalty. I think like it hit one of the Sevilla defenders, Bode, on the hand, if I'm not mistaken, that's his name. And it was one of those things where Sevilla were so lucky to sneak away with a 2-0 win from a game that they don't deserve to win. And they're the masters of sneaking in a win. So I'm really concerned. I'm really concerned, but still optimistic, and I believe in our boys. Uh,
Their last defeat as well was a month ago.
oh, look
So
at
they've been
that.
unbeaten for a month at the moment.
Yeah, damn. New manager bounce. Everything seems to be sort of going that way. They know that they historically have a responsibility or heritage to this cup, so they kind of uh, uh, they have a lot of those things to sort of just rely on and kind of gain confidence off of. So it's one of I trust that Ten Hag, though he will be focused. We always start the game kind of fast. I don't know if you noticed versus Forest as well, even versus Sevilla in the first leg. We had a moment really early, the Jadon Sancho offside moment where it was a really quick goal. And I want us to just start in the same way and have a very, very incisive, cunningness about our gameplay. This is the Ten Hag ball that I'm praying for this Thursday. So fingers crossed.
Absolutely. Good afternoon, Vincent. Thank you for coming in. Hope that you are well. My dad has a question. Who do you think was Man United's best player against Forest? I'd have to, it's tough one between Ericsson and Bruno, but Ericsson just edges it for me just because he has been out for a long time and he still put on a fantastic performance.
I would even throw in another one name in there in the ballot that's not in
Go
there.
on.
I'd nominate Anthony. Anthony, he had. I hope it's a breakthrough learning moment for Anthony because he had he had how many? I think 6 or 7 shots that he had tried, if I'm not mistaken, that did not work out. And then one moment he decides, you know what? Let me just try the pass and see Delos run. And that reverse pass was so beautiful. And because we had the bird's eye view from the camera, we could see it almost a step, before it happened. And I hope Anthony gets a lot of joy from providing that assist, and now tries to do that a little bit more and goes for the shots a lot less because it's about finding a good balance. And sometimes there's some games you'll be in form and that you try 2 shots and then the third shot goes in. But if you've tried 5 shots, you gotta vary it. You actually don't even have to go to all the way to 4 or 5 shots. You gotta keep the defender guessing and vary your attack a little bit, even if you're still cutting in. So Anthony, for me, is a player that had an assist, a goal, and a key pass. so I have to nominate him for man of the match.
Yeah, I understand that absolutely. Jacob has said Casemiro, best DM in the league. Oh, he is a very, very good player, Casemiro. And I think the thing is, Casemiro as well didn't look like he's been out for ages either.
He's one of those people too that, talking about plug and play, as we're talking about Christian Eriksen, who picks up where he left where he's left off. I think Casemiro, whenever he goes on his red card vacation, he comes back and he just slots in, and sometimes has a little bit of a muted contribution, so to speak, in terms of like his name is not being mentioned a lot, but that's because he's doing all that behind the scenes work and covering or closing a lot of passing lanes and diffusing some attacks. So I really respect Casemiro's the way he can just kind of come back into the game and pick up from where he left off, and he is such a difference maker for our team. I think Anthony Taylor is probably going to be the referee for the Sevilla game, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, whatever it is, Anthony Taylor is going to be the referee for. If it's not the Sevilla game, it's our next league match. And I know that Casemiro is now, reading the no contact basketball rules manual of how to defend without, without actually, causing a foul, because, I'm very, very wary of Anthony Taylor as a referee. And it's always funny because it's.
I don't even know who it is, the referee.
Oh my goodness. I saw
Anthony Taylor's for Spurs.
Oh, it's confirmed for Spurs. There we go. There we go. It's not the Sevilla game. So anyway, yeah, that makes me nervous, But anyway, Casemiro is world class. That's all I'm trying to say.
Doug's right though. Who's in the chat? Hey there, Doug. Thank you for coming in.
True. Thank you, Doug.
English referee cannot ref an English side in Europe. There's a reason why English referees never go to the World Cup or the Euros, like why we have the least of them.
You know why?
Go on.
Because they are. Honestly, Maisy, I read this study that was talking about just the wages that referees are paid in different leagues, and I was not very impressed with what the English referees were being offered. It was really all the way down there. I can't remember the stats right now.
I've seen it. I've retweeted
You've seen it. Oh,
I even
yeah.
let me get it. I
Reese
read.
is the all utter shite.
Okay, yeah, I've got it. I've got it here now.
Oh, please, please,
Okay,
please pull it out, because
there.
oh my goodness, look at that. Wow.
But do you know the thing is, right? Like, you hear the odd thing about La Liga, but you never hear it coming from Germany. You never hear it from Italy. So,
Yeah, with Germany, that's a surprise for me. That's a really, really big surprise too. Because like La Liga, we know there's all these scandals too. There's the official and unofficial
yeah.
payments and everything. So I'm not
No wonder
too
on that
surprised
much. Barcelona's give them all that money a week.
Now, also Liga is it's not bad. It's not bad. That's incredible. That's incredible that there's such a disparity in the that's how much that making per game. Incredible. Question. Is this like in the league games or in the cup games, or it's just like an average? Or, do you know? Do you know, Maisie? Oh, did I lose you? Oh no, we lost Maisy. Yeah, that's the thing that I was wondering, guys. Like, is this like what is this? What is this based on? That's saying all these figures per game, and I'm a little bit like skeptical. But anyway, it is one of those things where you just hope that a referee is not motivated by the amount of money that they're getting paid. You're
Oh,
just there.
sorry about that. My Wi-Fi went off again.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. I was just going to the point that like you hope that a referee is not motivated by the amount of money that they're getting paid. It's just like you're supposed to be fair in the game,
You know what is mad though? Like,
What?
the Portuguese, out of all these, the Portuguese have got the least publicity out of all of them, and they still got higher wages than the English refs. I don't even know how they get £1,300 a week.
Oof. I need to go to referee school.
I know. I want some of this money. Give us the money.
Right. So yeah.
Yeah. Question from Jack. Luke at centre back felt he was played really well at the centre of defence this season ahead of Harry. I think with Shaw being injured, he probably won't be back. He won't play. I think once he does come back, he probably will go at centre back at first, depending on
Yeah.
the situation of Malacia.
True that. True. It's yeah. I think it's a injury thing. Obviously, if he's available, he'd come in. And then on the Sevilla side, do you know if Mateus Acuna is? Can't remember if he's available or not. But this is somebody I think he's not available, and that will be a big miss for Sevilla because he's one of the weapons and on the flank.
Well,
And
that's good.
yeah, right. I think I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on this, but Montiel is definitely Gonzalo Montiel is definitely suspended, and he's another
He's a threat.
yeah, important right back for Sevilla. So anyway, so hopefully they're a little bit more weekend as well, like a week. They're a little weaker when we face them because they have a few training sessions and maybe they get a little knock or something, so that it balances out. Because right now we are hospital
Oh, we
FC.
need. Yeah.
Basically.
Reese said Seville have 2 or
Yes.
3 unavailable and 1 is suspended.
Acuna is suspended. Thank you, Reese, for confirming that. Thank you. Yes, yeah. I can't be happier. So
Question from Reva: would you keep Sabitzer? I'd keep Sabitzer. I would, especially the 20 mil. I would sign him.
that's a no-brainer for me. For that amount of money, for the education that he already has with Ten Hag now and the system and the acclimation with the players, he's pretty much had an extended preseason. If we're talking about this, 7 weeks from now, would be looking at a player who is helping other people acclimate. If we're buying somebody from buy-in or something. I heard Sadio Mane is looking for a new home. But anyway, so so would you take Sadio Mane, by the way? Just curious.
The thing is, right, I do like Mane as
I
like Mane as a
Yeah.
player, but is he
Yeah.
better than Rashford? No.
Yeah.
You could take a wage cut if you want to come to us.
Yeah. Right. But
You get 50% knocked off for being an ex-Liverpool player.
Also, Liverpool fans will probably
Nah,
don't
do you
forgive
know
him for that.
that
It'll
will
be a
proper
riot.
give? Do you know what kind of vibes that will give? Michael Owen vibes. Proper Michael
That's
Owen
true.
vibes.
That's true. That is so true. I just wonder why it hasn't worked out for him in Bayern, and I would have put
I
my
think he's had
money
a lot
on
of
him.
injuries. I think they probably expected him to be like a goal scoring machine like Lewandowski.
Yeah. But they're also not really like playing to his strengths, and they primarily play different positions. Like I don't think like they, Anyway, it is what it is. It's a Bayern Munich problem, and I think that they'll be getting rid of him this summer. And I was just curious where his next destination is gonna be. So that's why I just thought a little bit. I was like, under Ten Hag, how would Sadio Mane be? But that spot is owned by Rashford, and yeah, so it'll be very difficult. But yeah, Sabitzer will keep it.
Yeah, I keeps a bit so all day, every day. Question for my dad: if Forest striker made Maguire look good, he must be rubbish. What do you think?
Damn. I mean, we all know, and Maguire himself. Actually, Maguire thinks highly of himself, which is
Very scary.
right. Oh no! Look at what Reese just wrote. Oh, now I thought you had
Thanks,
confirmed
Reese.
Acuna
Thanks very much, Reese.
Acuna is now available. What's going on?
You know what? Reese
No.
just got our hopes up. Look what he's done.
And then crush them on the same stream.
I know. My heart's broken now. My heart is
Yeah.
broken. But we'll finish off with the final one. Did you ever rate Phil Jones at one time? I rated him when he first come. And I think the thing is that people, especially like when you're hearing the hype, like Phil Jones was going to be the next, like whatever. I think there was that massive hype there. It's getting to the point where I feel sorry for Phil Jones.
No, I mean, I had respect for him, rated him already because he was somebody that Sir Alex Ferguson, you know what I mean. Like you have to trust our grandfathers, our great Sir Alex Ferguson's judgment, and say like Phil Jones wouldn't be there by mistake, So he's somebody who definitely had the potential to become even world class, but it's just like injury prone and lots of things not just working out for him. So it's just an unfortunate career, but he definitely had all the ingredients to become a world class player. And I still think, as I said earlier on in the stream, that he's got one or two more chapters left in him. He should hold his head high and go and experience life in another country. I think and to look at his trajectory from before Manchester United. Obviously, he was at Blackburn and pretty much worked his way up from the Blackburn academy. And you have to have respect for a player like that started in the academy, under 18s, reserves, and then first team in the Blackburn, and then coming to Man United. So yeah, that's my take on Phil Jones.
And there was as well, Sean predicted 1-0 for United. Luca predicted 2-1 to Seville. What's your score prediction, Football Power Hour? Or shall we call you Mr. Nollywood?
Mr. Nollywood. Okay, so I'm gonna go with. It's gonna be a bloodbath because this is a final. There might even be a penalty. There's gonna be a red card, and it's gonna be 3-1. 3-1 United.
I like that. I'm gonna go for a less of a score. I'm gonna go 2-1 for United. I do think it is gonna be hard. Especially if it does go with a draw, then we're gonna have to play extra time, and that's not a good thing to play. But I like Coffee's gone for 2-1 for United. Seville to score an own goal.
I
And
like it.
I'm really worried now. Ravi's predicted us to win. You
know the vibes.
He knows the vibes. But thanks, Ravi. Thank you very, very much, Ravi. Let's wrap it up. Thank you, Football Power Hour, coming on. It's been a pleasure as always to have you on.
You don't even need to say that. Thank you. Always a pleasure to have me. Always a pleasure to talk football with you, and also everybody in this community too. I just love the vibes every time I'm here. So thank you guys for being so good and supportive, and yeah, I appreciate y'all.
Oh, you're welcome. And hey there, Samir. I'm well, thank you. I hope that you are well also. Would you like to shout out your socials?
Yes, indeed. I have a YouTube channel. It's called Football Power Hour. You just type at Football Power Hour, you'll find me. And also, if you want to follow me on Twitter as well, it's at Football P Hour. I couldn't fit the whole Power Hour in a word, so I had to condense it to at Football P Hour on Twitter. So make sure you check out that and subscribe. And also subscribe to Devils United right now if you're not and you're watching this. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you support Maisy because Maisy has always been nice to me and always supportive, and she always comes through with the killer content. So thank you for having me.
Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. I'll be doing a couple of watch alongs this weekend. I will be doing an Arsenal watch along, so I'll be raising money for children's liver disease for Stephen, my friend who sadly passed away back in February. So far we've raised £79 just before the watch alongs do commence. We'll be doing the Arsenal versus Southampton watch along, and we will be also doing Arsenal women versus Wolfsburg watch along. And surprise, Arsenal's in the semi-finals of the Champions League. Something that you never thought to see. But yeah, thank you everyone who's also put money in for Stephen. It does mean the world, and I know that Stephen as well, he'd be absolutely made up that £79 has been raised, because everyone who knows Stephen knows that that charity is really, really close to Stephen as well. So everyone this weekend show the support for Stephen and for myself for the watch alongs, and if you can, even if it was just £1, just like Stephen would really have been made up. He's one of them, like he was a very selfless person, and he wanted to do everything he could for charity. So let's do the same as well for Stephen this weekend. Thank you everybody, and I'll see you all Friday. Have a lovely weekend, enjoy the game, and hopefully don't get too drunk in sad tears because they're Seville. Take care everyone. And bye-bye from us.
Thank you.